in my picture. All right, let's do our warm-ups and a few standing things today. So sitting nose toward the floor, ankles, knees, hips, shoulders lined up. Reach your crown to the ceiling. Get that core activated, so ribs toward your spine and up. Feel that spine support and lengthen. And relax your arms, shoulders away from your ears throughout your practice. Take a breath. Just exhale any stress. And then inhale, arms up to shoulder level, stretching out through your fingertips. Exhale, hands to your heart. Stretch out to the front, and then clasp your hands behind you. Press the hands toward the floor and the chest toward the ceiling. And the head slightly back, but don't lift your chin too high. And then pivot at your hips. Exhale on over. Spread your toes. Lift your arms. Get those shoulders stretching a little bit. Move your chin around. Release your neck, any tension in it. And then bend your knees. Keep your chin slightly in and wind from the bottom of the spine all the way back up and stretch your head back. Lengthen through your whole body and then inhale upright and release. Inhale, arms at shoulder level. Exhale, hands to your heart. Stretch to the front and then clasp the other way behind you. Push the hands down and the chest up. Stretch out through the whole spine and pivot over as you exhale. And again, lifting your sitting bones, give the back of your legs a good stretch. And then once more, wind your way slowly up and lift your heart. Drop your shoulders, stretch your head back. Just feel that spine keep lengthening as you back bend. And then inhale upright into mountain pose. Take a moment as you breathe, just feel your body. And it's time for side stretches. So let's keep one arm down, the other one out, palm to the ceiling, hand over your shoulder. Push the hands and slide to the side. So this hand slides down toward your leg and the other one reaches across right next to your ear. Make sure you're not leaning forward. Push the foot you're leaning away from down for that extra opening. Inhale up, release your arm, and bring the other arm out. Shoulder down, palm toward the ceiling, hand above your shoulder. Push the hands away as you lean over to the opposite side. Remember, don't lean forward, keep it straight so that you get those ribs stretching apart, pushing the foot down for that extra oomph. And then inhale up and release. Shoulders back and down and crown to the ceiling. Stretch your spine apart for our twist and bring your arms again to shoulder level, palms to the ceiling, hands over your shoulder and clasp your elbows. Lengthen the spine and turn into your twist. Take a breath, pivot over in the twist. Keep the weight on both feet though as you come down. Take a breath or two, just relax. And then inhale, keeping the weight on both feet as you come back up in the twist and lift your heart. So remember, don't overdo your low back when you're twisting. Elbows back, shoulders down. Take a breath or two. And then inhale up, release to the center and switch your arms. And again, stretch the spine apart so it can move into your opposite twist. Take a breath, pivot on over. And again, just take a moment, keep your arms by your ears and your weight on both feet. And when you're ready, inhale your way back up. And again, lift your heart. Shoulders down, elbows back. Take a moment, just breathing. Inhale upright, exhale around to the center, and stretch your arms up. Extended mountain, feel the sinking into your feet. Keep the shoulders down, but the fingertips and head reaching up. And then swan dive forward, chest leading. Stretch everything out straight and drop into ragdoll. Pull in a little deeper with your hands behind your legs for that extra back stretch. And then arms to the center and come on back all the way up. Shoulders back and down, crown to the ceiling. Take a moment, breathe. And then let's step wide. Angle your feet slightly out and bend your knees toward, not beyond your toes. So you're sinking straight down with your hips and you're keeping your spine straight so your shoulders are over your hips. So a little stretch through that inner thigh. And then bring your arms out, palms to the ceiling. Bend your elbows into goddess. And then as you inhale, straighten your knees, bend your elbows and reach up, crossing those wrists. And then exhale, coming into goddess, and then come all the way down and cross the wrists the other way. But remember, keep your spine straight and just keep those knees right above your toes and your whole body sinking evenly into your feet. And then inhale, again up. Exhale, goddess, and release down. Inhale, goddess, coming all the way up. And again, once more into the goddess squat. Take a moment and breathe. Keep that spine straight. Keep the sitting bones down, crown toward the ceiling. And then inhale up and exhale into mountain pose. Take a breath, letting all that stress out. Arms at shoulder level, palms toward the ceiling, hands over your shoulders. Now remember, keep your shoulders down, but your fingertips and head reaching up. Bending the knees toward, not beyond your toes, and you're pushing the sitting bones back into your chair squat. So come as deeply into the squat as you want. Remember, if your knees are an issue, don't go really deep. You can be just up there, wherever you need to be. Take a moment, make sure those knees aren't going beyond your toes. You don't want to overstrain the knees. Keep your arms by your ears, the back nice and straight. And then fingertips lead back, coming all the way up. And release again into mountain pose. Take a breath, tension out once more as you step wide. So we'll do a couple of standing postures with the feet wide as you like them. We're going to do triangle first. So for triangle, remember, keep your hips and shoulders facing the front. Bring your arms to shoulder level, palms toward the ceiling. Now palms down. Okay, get my act together here. Turn your foot 90 degrees, but not your hips. And then your other foot, heel back, toes forward, but again, don't turn your leg or your hip. So the knee is going the same direction your toes are going. And then the hip crease at the front, push from that as far as you can to the side. Now turn your hands to the front and pivot, one arm up and the other one down. Stretch out through your arms, through your fingertips, through your head, and back through your hip. So make sure that hip that's behind you isn't leaning forward or backward, but it's straight, both hips facing the same direction your whole body faces. And then bring your arms back into that upper position, palms toward the floor and into your star position. And release your arms a moment, releasing those shoulders. Check your positioning, make sure the hips and shoulders line up with your ankles too. And again, arms at shoulder level, palms down. Turning your feet, 90 degrees with the first one, heel back, toes forward with the knee going toward your toes on the second one. But remember, you're not turning your hips on this. Everything still faces that long side of your neck. Take a breath, pivot at the hip joint, push it out. Push it even further. The further you go, the further the hand will come toward the floor. Palms to the front, pivot. One hand down along that leg and the other one as straight up above it as possible. Keep your hip back, the top hip back, making sure that everything is still facing that long side of your mat. Stretch your head to the other little side of the mat. And the hands away from each other so that the shoulders are stretching apart. And then pivot back up Palms toward the floor, turning your feet to the center into star position. Energize that from your heart and release your arms. Take a breath, just letting everything soften as you sink into your feet. So we're going to do something similar to that. We're going to do a triangle, and then we're going to pivot in the triangle into what's called reverse triangle. So we'll be facing the opposite direction when we get into the reverse part. So again, arms stay at shoulder level, starting palms down. Turn your feet. The one is 90 degrees, the other one goes heel back, toes forward. Make sure that knee is going along with your toes. And again, pivoting at the hips, pushing into your triangle, palms to the front, and coming all the way down. So you're as far into your triangle with the top hip back as you can. Arms are straight across from each other. And then as you do that, we're pivoting the whole body at the hips, bringing the arms right across from each other as you look down at that front foot. Spread your toes out. Lengthen through your spine so the crown and the sitting bones go opposite, and then keep pivoting. The arm that was in front comes down along your leg, and the other one goes straight up toward the ceiling, and you're looking what used to be behind you. So this hand can come to a block on the floor, or your ankle, or your leg, wherever it goes. Take a breath, stretch it out again. And then pivot back parallel with your arms to the floor, and then keep pivoting back into the front triangle, arms right across from each other. Pivot back up into your starting position, star. Relax your shoulders, push out through your fingertips, and then release. So notice that works the hips a little bit more as we go into that version of the triangle. And of course, we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So revolved or rotated triangle. Arms again start at shoulder level. Turn your foot, heel back, toes forward. And we're going to again push, push, push for our triangle. Legs stay straight, remember, in all of this. Pivot into your triangle with the one leg, one arm down and the other one up above it. Stretch it out through your head and your sitting bones, lengthening through the whole spine. And then remember, keeping the whole spine straight and the arms right across from you. Look down at that front foot, stretch it out, and then keep pivoting, arms across from each other, the one arm coming down toward your leg and the other one up toward the ceiling. Knees stay straight, head stays toward the side. Back is still nice and straight through your whole spine. Take a breath, stretch it out, and then as you exhale again, pivot back parallel to the floor with your arms, and then keep going into your regular triangle. Stretch it out, pivot up, palms toward the floor, feet to the front, stretching it out. Feel that star energizing. And then release. Oh, let's step into mountain pose for a breath. So take a moment breathing. Exhale any tension. Hands to your heart. Inhale them toward the ceiling. A little back bend with the thumbs behind you. And then let's swan dive forward, pivoting over. And just hang and ragdoll for a stretch on your spine. Hands up under your knees on your shins. And then back into ragdoll. Palms together as you inhale, hands to your heart, and releasing into mountain pose. Take a breath, just relax, and we'll do one more standing posture. So again, standing wide positioned, as wide as you like. We're going to do pyramid. So remember, the legs go exactly the same, and the knees again stay straight as you go into your pyramid, but this time your hips are going to rotate like they did when we went into the rotated or reverse triangle, but we're going to stay toward the side. So arms again at shoulder level, and turn your feet one foot perpendicular, and the other one heel back, toes forward. And then take your whole body around, keeping your arms straight out to the sides. And then either clasp your arms behind your lower back or bring your fingertips up between your shoulder blades into that reverse prayer, if you like that for your wrists. So you've got your toes spreading out. The weight is on both feet. Both knees are straight. Your spine is straight. And then we're pushing the hips back and pivoting at the hips, bringing the chest forward so your body becomes parallel to the floor, looking down at that front foot. So again, the spine stays straight, the legs stay straight, the shoulders stay even, parallel to each other, facing the floor. Take a moment, breathing, pulling back through the hips and out through the cranium. Take a moment, breathe, stretch it out. And then inhale, coming back up. Bring your arms releasing back to T position, pivoting to the front along with your feet into your star position. And release your arms. And of course, one more, because we've got to pyramid to that opposite side. So again, hips face the front, shoulders face the front, toes start facing the front as well. Arms at shoulder level. Turn your feet, that 90-degree one, and then the heel back, toes one. And keeping the arms across from each other, pivot. So you're pulling that back hip up and the front hip back, so that everything then faces the front foot. Spread your toes, and again, either clasp your forearms at your lower back or bring your hands to that prayer position. Take a breath, keep your spine straight, keep your legs straight, pivot at the hips, pulling the hips back, sitting bones back as you come forward to parallelish to the floor and look down toward that front foot. Again, spreading your toes, making sure the whole length of the foot is supporting you on both feet. Both knees are straight. The whole body is nice and straight through the spine. The hips are parallel to each other, facing the floor evenly. Take a breath, stretch it out, breathe into it, lengthening your spine. And then inhale, coming back, pivoting up, bring your arms out, pivot to the front, and your feet coming into your energized star position. And release again into mountain pose. Take a moment, breathing, and bring your hands to your heart. Inhale, hands toward the ceiling. Exhale, follow them all the way down into ragdoll. And just hang for a moment, letting things stretch through the whole back of your body. Bring your hands up under your knees, on your shins, and our halfway up stretch, lengthening everything. And then bending your knees, come all the way to the floor, into child pose for our transition. Hands palms up, forehead down toward the floor. Take a breath, just relaxing. And when you're ready, inhale, sitting up, and bring the legs to the front of the neck. Sorry. So push out through your heels, up with your toes, get the backs of your knees nicely pressing down toward the floor as I'd like to be. Sitting bones, of course, slightly behind you, shoulders above your hips, and ground toward the ceiling in your staff position. And then using your core for support, just slowly roll all the way down. Now as you get to the floor, take a moment to breathe. Feet hip width apart, bring your hands to T position. Sitting bones toward your heels, bend your knees, bring your heels right next to your sitting bones, knees straight up. Take a moment and breathe. Exhale and press your back down. And then arching up. So pull the sitting bones back toward your shoulder blades and arch up with the ribs toward the ceiling, giving that space under your spine. and then pressing down just a little back strengthener and arching up. So remember, your own pace, whatever's right for your body, letting that whole spine sink and stretch, and then arching it up so that that gets a little bit more exercise through that low back area. And then using that back to neutral, bring your hands next to you, palms down. We're going to do a little bridge. So spread your feet hip width apart, knees straight up, sitting bones toward your heels, back pressing down. And then as you inhale, bring your hip bones up toward the ceiling. So you're coming onto your shoulder blades, on your head, not your neck. And then go ahead, clasp your hands under you, bring that little finger inside. And then work up a little higher onto your shoulder blades if that works for you, or the tops of your shoulders. So make sure your head, not your neck, is on the floor. Your knees are still straight up, hip width apart, and you're arched slightly up, or you're in a straight line with those hips rising in line with your knees. Take a breath, exhaling tension. And then release your hands, your shoulders, shoulder blades, ribs, and spine back to the floor. Take a moment to breathe, feel your spine a little more activated. And of course, we're going to do the bridge one more time, but we're going to clasp the fingers the opposite way, so the other direction with your interlacing. Just move your fingers one position over. Hands start palms down next to you. Press the back down, sitting bones toward your heels. Press into your feet evenly. Keep those knees straight up. Remember, don't let them spread apart. And lift the hips straight up. Come onto your shoulders. Clasp the hands with other little finger inside. And move up onto your shoulders a little bit more. So either shoulder blades or shoulders, not your neck. Your head is on the floor. Your knees are straight up, your feet are supporting you evenly, and your hips are going straight up toward the ceiling. Take a moment, just breathe, lifting the hips. Exhale any tension. And then releasing your hands, your shoulders, your shoulder blades, ribs, and spine. And then bring the knees toward your heart and pull them in. And then exhale, release the left leg, keep the right knee pulled in. And then release the right leg. Sitting bones towards your heels, bring the heels back in. And again, pull the knees up toward your heart. This time, hold the left leg in, send the right leg out, down to the floor. Take a moment, feeling that stretch. And exhale and release. And time for a twist. So bring your arms to T position. Let's do palms up and shoulders down. And your right leg, foot on the left thigh. We'll go onto this left side. Keep your head down. Bring your hands together and the knee all the way to the floor. Hold the knee and bring your right hand to the ceiling. Look up at the right hand, palm up toward the ceiling right at shoulder level, so don't bring it toward your head or down toward your feet. Just let the back of your hand lower toward the floor. The more you keep the knee on the floor with your left hand, the more that lower back gets a nice twist. If that's not good for you, remember, put a pillow under your knee. Take a breath, turn your head as much as your neck allows to look toward the hand going toward the floor. And remember that gravity will bring you into your twist when your body's ready. So if your hand doesn't make it all the way down, don't worry about it. Just let it go with gravity. Exhale, letting the ligaments release and the spine relax, allowing that twist to energize through your whole spine, aligning your spine and your energy. Take a breath, just relaxing into it. And when you're ready to release, let go of that knee, roll onto your back, slide the foot near the other one, and take a moment to breathe, feeling that twist energy. And of course, we'll twist to the other side. So again, sitting bones gently toward your heels, bending your left knee, foot to the right thigh. Head stays on the floor, don't overwork the neck. As you bring the hands together and the knee all the way to the floor. Right hand on the knee, left arm toward the ceiling. Stretch it up, looking up, and look at the hand as you lower it behind you. Remember, right at shoulder level so that chest stays nice and open, coming into your twist in that middle back area. Knee down, lower back, be gentle if you need to. And of course, turn your head for that neck area as well. Only as much as your body needs and wants. Take a breath. Exhale. Just release any tension, relaxing into your twist. Deep breath. Let the shoulders release. Let the whole body relax. Exhaling any tension in your spine. Just notice how this side twists compared to the other side. Let it go. Just relax into your twist. And of course, hold them longer on your own. But for right now, just release your knee, roll onto your back, slide that foot near the other one, and bring your hands down near your hips, palms up into corpse position for our final relaxation. Roll your head side to side, releasing your neck, toes together. Let those toes separate. The whole body sink into that surface beneath you. And allow everything to soften and sink into that earth support. Shoulders, belly, legs, and everything sinking deep into the earth. And let your body go from your awareness. As you let those thoughts go, know that other thoughts will come to your mind. Just let them go as well. There's no need to remember the past or anticipate the future. No need to think about the content of any thoughts coming to you. Just let the thoughts flow in and out as easily as your breath. And just deepen into that inner awareness, finding that peace deep within. Breathe into the peace. Soften your body. Relax your mind. And just take a few moments embodying peace. Of course, if you have plenty of time today to keep relaxing, just go ahead and relax at your own pace. If it's time to get ready for the rest of your day, but begin drawing energy and awareness with the breath back to the moment, to the room, to your body. As you breathe more deeply, just begin stretching gently, moving your body however feels good for you. Maybe circling those wrists and ankles. Stretching your arms and legs, breathing more deeply, stretching more fully as you're ready. And of course, when you're ready for your final yoga hug of appreciation, and you're sitting bones gently toward your heels toward your hips, and knees up toward your heart. Wrap your arms around for that appreciative yoga hug. Let your body know you appreciate its yoga today, and the work your body does it for you every day. And when you're ready to release, bring your head and feet to the floor, roll over to the side, and sit back up, getting ready for whatever's ahead for you today. Thanks for joining me.